The phones we have these days and what they're used for these days is not like 20 years or 10 years ago. Yeah, sure, 10 years ago, it could just be, hear a voice or just chat. What we use our phones for these days, how many times people call you just to chat? The dynamics of having a phone these days is different. It's different to when it was a landline. It's different to when it was a regular mobile phone, when it this internet. Back in the olden days, people come around to your house, they wanted to chat. You see them on the weekend in front of the chat. These days, it's all small talk. Science, we understand what we have discovered.
Yeah.
But we don't know the full picture. And we'll never know the full picture. You can't live in this world and go, there is no evil, there is no Satan. You can't say this world is evil free. So if we can't say that, then there has to be a God.
So you'll say is if there's evil, there has to be a good.
That's the hope, right?
Welcome. Joel Benishi here, and I'm welcoming you to the Discover You podcast. And we've been on a journey, and on the journey we've launched on this journey with the Discover You podcast, where we interview guests of diverse background to really find out their path to fulfillment and what they do differently. And today we've got with us a special guest. This guy here, I love his energy. I really enjoy spending time with this guy. I'm a good friend of his. But today we're actually going to understand who he is, and we're going to find out more about him. Xavier.
Yo.
My brother.
Welcome.
Talk to me.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, talk to me, man.
What do you want to know?
First of all, who's Xavier? Like, I know Xavier from back in the days of uni. I know who people think Xavier is. But according to you, who is Xavier? Who do you say Xavier is?
That's a good question, Who is... Well, explaining it from the third person is going to be difficult. But for me, it's a loving husband. It's a family man. It's a hard worker. Xavier is,
If I said, okay, Xavier, how do you want to be remembered as? What would you say?
How would I? Wow, deep. Wow. Someone who just gave a crap. I mean, who helped? Someone who helped.
Helped who?
It could be anyone who asked for help. If they asked for help, I would give it to them.
And when you're talking about help, you're talking about what, financial help? You're talking about mental health?
No, it could be anything. If you're struggling financially, if you're struggling mentally, if you're struggling with just, day-to-day tasks. Like many people call me up, hey, can I have a help with fixing this, or how do I do this? Yeah, I'm there to give a hand. When people, here's the thing, right? When someone calls you, right?
Yeah.
And you pick up the phone, what do you say?
Yo.
Okay.
That's what I say.
You know what I say?
What do you say?
How can I help?
For real?
For real.
That's rare to hear. You actually, I'll check with a guy that's on set here, Raven. He'll tell us the truth. You actually say, well, how can I help?
Yeah, how can I help?
Yeah, right. That actually caught me off guard. Like, I'm just realizing that maybe you do. Maybe you do say that.
Why do most people call? Sometimes it's just for conversation, right? But what is the point of a call? Is to ask.
Do you think?
And so I break down the barrier quickly by showing my eagerness or my willingness to help the other person on the phone. Does it make sense?
Yeah, but so on that note, do you think that people are scavengers, that they never call to truly understand Xavier and to truly get to know Xavier? They call to get something from you.
Hey. Here's the thing. The phones we have these days and what they're used for these days is not like 20 years or 10 years ago. Yeah, sure, 10 years ago, it could just be, to hear a voice or just chat. But what we use our phones for these days, how many times people call you just to chat?
I know my family in Africa, when they call
just
me.
Message.
I see what you're saying.
The dynamics of having a phone these days is different. It's different to when it was a landline. It's different to when it was, just a regular mobile phone without this internet. It's different. Back in the olden days, people come around to your house, they wanted to chat. Or you see them on the weekend for wanted to chat. Yeah, and then they would call you, over the landline, over the phone. But these days, it's all small talk.
So then relationship is really non-existent.
Well, look, unless if you're just calling a friend, if you're calling, for example, you called me the other day and you said, hey, I want you on the podcast. Pretty sure I said, how can I help?
Yeah. So even did I at least say how you doing?
Yeah, sure. But then there's a simple dynamic, conversation. You ask, your formalities, and then what?
And then you ask for whatever you need help with.
Yeah, sometimes they come out with that. Hey, listen, I want this, or can you help me here? Or not even just for help. You want to do something.
So then,
regardless, the dynamics of the phone has changed.
Well, how would you compare it with? Because you grew up when landlines were still there.
Landlines, right? Dial-up internet. What else?
What did people used to like? Let me just start by saying, I don't think many of the viewers know, but you are raised with. So altogether, there's 10 siblings, yeah.
10 siblings.
10 siblings.
1 girl, 9 boys. We were raised on 50 acres out Berry Springs.
Yeah, right.
We didn't have nothing up until the 2000s, not even a TV. I mean, I was there before color TV. I was there when we had black and white TV.
Damn.
Yeah, man. I remember watching some kind of show on a Tonka box.
Nick.
Yeah, people these days, kids these days, they get an iPad before they're even 4.
But does that actually make a difference in their communication?
I don't know. How do we know? This is a new era for most people. We don't know what the next generation is going to be like, do we?
Well, you did.
I know when I grew up.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's so many of us, Mum didn't like us mucking around the house, so she would kick us out. Go play outdoors, go do something outside. We would watch TV once a week. That's when we had a TV in the 2000s. In the 90s, nothing.
Do you?
All that technology didn't exist back. I mean, it did exist, but not in our lives.
Yeah.
I was brought up with a single income family. So, we had what we could afford and that was it. Nothing in excess.
So what did I teach you about life?
Well, you don't need all this other stuff to enjoy growing up it's a difficult question. What is that? I don't know what the other side is. I wasn't brought up with an iPad. I know now that we are consumed. We are consumed behind screens. As a software engineer, I spend way too much time behind a screen.
Yeah.
And what that's teaching the other person is, let's say I'm on my phone right now and I'm talking to you. Yeah. I'm still upholding a conversation with you, but I'm not giving you my full attention. So what does that say? How does that make you feel?
That you're not really present.
I'm not present. I'm not giving you my full attention. Something else, I'm putting something else higher than my attention to you. I'm saying my phone deserves more than this conversation.
Yeah. That begs me to because I was raised watching TV. Like I was raised in Congo part of my life and the other part in Cameroon. And like just like you, humble beginnings. And when I came here, it was a bit of a culture shock. But what I'm hearing from you, being raised out bush and being raised in the city is also a culture shock for you. Is that a fair statement?
Yes and no. Yes, to the point that it's interesting to see that some of the dynamics and parenting that gets around these days. Yeah. I mean, to shut a kid up, they will give them an iPad. Back in my day, things are different. Yeah,
but whether it's different or not, do you believe that that's the correct way of doing it? Was the way you were raised the correct way of doing it? Would you do the same thing with your kids?
Yeah, definitely. I would do the same for my kid.
Is that just from pure programming of how you were programmed?
You know what how the saying goes, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. Yeah. So I would suggest that my child upbringing wasn't broken. Yeah.
Yeah.
I turned out to be an okay adult. I thought the way I was brought up was, sure, it had some tough times, but it wasn't terrible. I've come out the other side and can uphold a conversation and, have intelligent conversations with other people. I'm not saying that kids behind iPads won't be able to do the same, but we just don't know.
Yeah.
Do you know?
I don't have kids. Do you have kids?
I have a kid.
Yeah.
It's going to be a struggle, man.
What's your plan?
Well, the plan at the moment is give them no screen time. We don't even own a TV. I know, it's 2024. We don't own a TV. If we want to watch a movie or something, I'll pull out my laptop.
And your hope is that the kid doesn't grow up with technology.
The kid will grow up with technology. We are surrounded by technology. He's going to see his father on his phone doing stuff because some of my work I have to get done through my phone. I want him to grow up and have an understanding of, the boundaries of what to use technology for and when to, when and why.
Yeah.
When you can use it and why.
So it sounds like you're adopting a lot of the things, a lot of the ways and methods you were raised off.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you are, then what would you say is one thing that you're gonna do with your kid that your parents didn't do with you? What would you do different?
Now, thinking back to my childhood. Well, but my childhood wasn't the rosiest of childhoods. Mum and Dad thought there was something wrong with me. Hopefully they don't listen to this podcast.
Nick.
Yeah. I'll be real, okay?
Yeah.
I remember being 5 or 6 and they had a tuning fork. You know what a tuning fork is?
No, I don't actually.
It's tuned to the 440 hertz or 432 hertz. It's meant for guitars. It ring a C or a G note for guitars so they can tune a guitar off that note.
Yeah.
And they thought something was wrong with my hearing because I didn't listen. So they would, to test my hearing, they would go, "Can you hear this tuning fork?" And obviously I'll go, "Yes." And they'll just sit there scratching their heads going, "Why aren't you listening?"
Yeah, right. How did that make you feel?
I don't know. My childhood was weird. Mum was sick for 2 years after she gave birth to me. So who knows if that affected how I perceived life in my beginnings and whether I actually listened or wasn't listening or was just wasn't holding attention properly.
So if mum thought something was wrong with you, what did all your siblings think?
Well, you get labels in the family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever get a label?
I was a middle child, so everybody knew I was sneaky.
Sneaky?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's how I know you. You're sneaky. Now, for some reason, I got labeled as a black sheep of the family. You understand this saying?
Well, what's your take on the black sheep of the family? Like every family's got different dynamics.
Black sheep means you stand out. You're if they're assuming, well, they're inferring that the rest of the family's white, and you stand out as being the black sheep.
Yeah.
So, whatever it was, I was always in trouble.
Always.
You
can't remember a moment where you were appreciated as a kid?
Memory. How am I supposed to zoom back into distant memories to find happiness? Yeah, sure, there would have been happy days and there were sad days.
Yeah.
Things I would have done differently is probably, I don't know. I don't know what I was like back then. Does it make sense?
You don't know how you were back. Like, what do you mean by that?
Reaching back, looking back to my younger self.
Yeah.
How would I find myself acceptable back then in my behavior? Or would I go, no, that's still me now?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just going off Mum and Dad's word. They just said you didn't listen. You're daydreaming all the time.
About what?
Kids daydream.
Like you actually you don't have any memory of it, do you? Or you have memory of people telling you that
No,
you were
I
that?
have memory of some of the stuff that I went through, but
Yeah.
you know, that's you put it up into a box and you lock it.
Until what?
Till you die. That's it.
You know what they say. I did some reading on some. I don't know what it was from, but there's this text that I was reading from a psychologist, and he was saying that whatever you lock away deep in your subconscious mind, it would probably, when push comes to shove, it would spill when you experience the same scenario. Meaning, if you experience something as a child, when you have a child, somewhere along the line, if you don't deal with it and you lock it in a deep, dark place, it would come out and your child will have to experience it. Do you believe that?
I don't believe in that. I think that we all get a chance to go back down your own rabbit hole. There'll be some points in your life where you wish you took a different turn and you would revisit that scenario in a different context, and life will present to you a choice, and that choice would be, would you take the same turn you took those years ago, or would you take a different turn? And so I believe everyone gets, let's just say, second chances, but in a different context. So I think these days I just take the other road instead of, the one that I took when I was young. But how do I know? How can you perceive the ability to go, oh, I understood the assignment back then. Yeah. When I say the assignment, the life assignment, you're a kid. How are you supposed to know? How are you supposed to understand what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, that's true.
And the route you're supposed to take. I just know that a couple of times I was like, you know what, I'm running away.
From the house?
Sure, I didn't make it far, but
you're in the bush, man. Where you gonna go? Where you gonna go in the bush?
Hey.
You just wanted to leave the space.
Yeah.
You just felt alone.
Sure.
You felt isolated.
Yeah, I don't believe there's not a single person on this planet that hasn't felt alone or isolated.
Why is that though?
And even why is that? It's just us being humans.
Yeah, but don't you believe
even if you're famous at some context or some reality, you'll feel alone.
But we're believed to live in community. We're created to live in community. We're created to be among people, right? It's our nature to be social.
Yeah. Yeah, it's our nature to be social, but it doesn't mean at some point you don't feel like you want to walk alone for a bit.
Like in your case, you felt like you wanted to walk alone when you were a child.
No, I felt alone when I was a child.
Yeah.
And trying to run away was just an extension of that reality back then. And I don't believe anyone, like, sure, you might have the best childhood, but there could be certain times where you've felt alone as well.
Yeah, that's true.
As a human, you're not going to escape that reality that you'll never feel alone.
So
let's just say you make it all the way to your deathbed.
Yeah.
But no one's there.
Oh, Nick.
Are you alone or what? You're alone.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Makes your deathbed and nobody's there.
Yeah, so I don't know. Life's about a bunch of choices, really.
Yeah. Well, let's just jump onto that topic. If you're on your deathbed, who would you expect to be there?
Definitely my son. I mean, if my son's not there, something's gone wrong, okay? He's younger than me. Definitely outlived me. Yeah, my son and my wife, they're both younger than me, so statistics show men die earlier than women, so my wife should definitely be there.
So that's just your immediate family?
And then my immediate family. I mean, hopefully I die peacefully in my sleep.
Yeah.
You don't want to go any other way.
Yeah. The one thing we do on the Discover You podcast is we pursue the path of fulfillment and see the 7 areas of human life. And one of those areas of human life is to do with spirituality. And when when I asked you to fill up the form earlier on, you said you were Catholic, correct?
Roman Catholic.
Roman. What's the difference?
That's the rite.
It's the what?
There's a bunch of different religious rites. You know, the Orthodox rite, Roman rite.
I don't know, actually. Tell me a little bit more about it.
I don't know much about it either. I just know that my rites are Roman rites.
So how does it differ?
The church, how does the church? I mean, how does the rites differ?
Correct.
Just tradition.
So what do you do that other Catholics don't do?
No, all Catholics should be Roman Catholic.
Okay, hold on. Let me just process that. All Catholics should be Roman Catholic.
Yes.
But...
Well, actually, no. I don't know. I think Catholic is a general term because you can have Orthodox.
There's multiple different types of Catholic. That's for sure.
But if I just say Roman Catholic, it just means that I'm under the Pope.
Okay.
And if you say you're Orthodox, then you're under not the Pope, but the Archbishop or however the Orthodox.
Why Rome? Like, you know, I think in the story of the Bible, the Romans are the ones that crucified Jesus, didn't they?
Sure.
So why Roman Catholic?
Just what it's called.
Why use the name of the people that crucified Jesus?
I don't know, but St. Paul, who was one of the first disciples to spread the gospel throughout Middle East.
Yeah.
He was a converted Roman soldier. He originally was trying to round up all the Catholics and throw them into, I don't know, the arena with the tigers and the lions, and to persecute all the Christians back then. Mm-hmm. And then one day, God knocked him off his horse, or God stopped his horse and said, "Hey, why are you persecuting me?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Whoa, who are you?"
Yeah.
And Jesus is like, "You know who I am. Why are you persecuting me?"
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, he converted, and so from persecuting Christians, he flipped around the other way around, 180, and then he went around and started spreading the good news.
And what's the good news?
Jesus is risen. He's the new covenant.
Do you actually believe that?
Yes.
Like, I know you were brought up into it, but do you actually believe that news?
Well, yes, I do. It's interesting what belief is and what faith is, and what and where you place yourself in that scale, right?
Yeah.
So we all believe we've all heard the yin and the yang, right? Opposites.
Yeah, from the Chinese philosophy.
Yeah, white and black, good and bad,
Yeah.
Up and down. Yeah. Well, it's the same thing. You can't live in this world and go, there is no evil, there is no Satan, there is no, really, really bad stuff. You can't say this world is evil free. So if we can't say that, then there has to be a God.
So you'll say is if there's evil, there has to be a good.
Yeah.
There can't be none there can't be one without the other.
That's the hope, right?
And what's the hope? Is the hope that what?
The definition of hope is believing without seeing.
Isn't that faith?
Yeah, actually, I might have got that wrong. Switch them around.
So then what is hope?
The one and the same, I reckon.
Like even I'm just thinking right now, like hope you would say is what? It's hope a feeling? Like let's try to break it down. Is hope a feeling? Like I know a lot of people right now are struggling and highly depressed and whatever because they don't have any hope. Right? They don't have any hope in a better future. Like the rates of suicide right now is staggering because people don't have any hope. Hope for tomorrow. So maybe let's just break down what hope is. What is it? Is that just an expectation for a better future?
I don't think it's an expectation. I think hope relies on hope. Yeah, it's more of it's relying on your thought that the future or that something is better than what it seems.
But isn't that an
It's
expectation?
faith without sight.
It's believing in a better future.
Yeah.
Right. Can you believe in something without having an expectation for it? Like if you say I believe in God.
No, you can't. I don't think you can. If I showed you, if I demonstrated to you and said, hey, this is, and I painted a different future and I said, if we worked hard, we could get there.
Yeah.
Then that's hope. We don't have it now. It's just an idea that I have.
Yeah.
But I demonstrated to you, I showed to you and you were like, yeah, I think we can achieve that.
Mm.
And I think faith is holding on to that hope the whole way.
And your hope as a Catholic, Roman Catholic, is what?
My hope?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I hope. I hope when I get to my deathbed, my report will be, an A.
That's big. Like, what the heck is an A?
Well,
in this life,
an A plus is you're a saint, right? You've
okay. So that's how we categorize
completely selfless and unselfish, and you've given, and all you've ever done is give.
Yeah.
To others, and I know people who can achieve this.
Mm-hmm.
And that gives me hope and faith at the same time, seeing that there are people out there who can achieve that status of just a status of being the perfect, not perfect human, but being what most of us wish we could be in how we live our lives, right?
That's
but I know
tricky,
I'm only human. I get out of the bed in the morning and I
Yeah.
still have the same temptations that every 8 billion people on this planet. And that is, what if I just did this all for me?
Mm.
I get up every morning, I make 2 coffees. One for me and one for my wife.
Yeah.
Right? And at the end of the day, she makes 2 cups of tea, one for herself and one for me.
Mm.
Imagine if I got up in the morning, I just made 1 coffee for me and I went to work. That's the difference between living a selfless life and living a selfish life.
You wouldn't do that for your neighbor?
No, I wouldn't do that for my neighbor, no. But I'd lend a hand if he asked.
So isn't it just transactional? If she didn't do it at night, you wouldn't do it in the morning?
I don't really care for tea.
Damn.
Yeah.
You better not be listening to this.
No, I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. All right? I enjoy it. Okay. But it's not coffee.
Men don't do tea.
Men don't do tea.
Damn.
I'm going to get AeroPress. So I'm going to step my game up.
Do you think having a spiritual belief as a Roman Catholic has impacted your happiness and fulfillment in life?
Sure, definitely.
Why? How?
Purpose, really.
What do you mean by that?
Well, otherwise I would get up in the morning and go, why am I doing this?
Mm.
Yeah. And, we've been told that God created us in his image. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard that, right?
Correct.
So if we didn't know that and we were just some random kangaroo, right? Or an animal or whatever, okay?
Ape.
Or let's just say God never existed in our universe or in our timeline.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't understand our purpose here on earth. We just knew that, we lived and we died.
Yeah.
And there's this bit in the middle,
mm-hmm.
in between those 2 dates.
Yeah.
And it could be a a bunch of good stuff or a bunch of bad stuff.
Yeah.
But how much more of an impact is it if you knew that God created you in his image and that you had the ability to create another human in your image and to mirror God's creation? How much more purpose would you have in life to go, okay, you know what? If I play my cards right, and if my goal is to, see, creation is not just in your hands or in your wife's hands, right? It's not just in your family. Creation, you can create in, you're able to create in other people's realities.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it could just be a simple, you helped them out one day and that gave them purpose.
But you don't need God for that, do you?
You do need God for that.
What? So an atheist can't actually reach purpose and fulfillment?
I don't believe atheists are actually doing a reality check on that. Have you ever gone and gone to the beach or wherever, okay, or maybe at the top of the mountain, okay, and looked at a sunset?
I have.
And if an atheist stood up there and go, wow, there's no way you wouldn't think, wow, thank you, God, that is an amazing sunset.
Yeah, but what
are they going to give thanks to? Wow,
universe did it.
Awesome. yeah. See, there we go. Universe did it. So they are believing in something else,
something bigger than themselves.
Yeah,
but it's just not. So
when atheists come to you and say, "I don't believe in God," well, sure you don't. That's a lie.
What do you mean by that?
That's they're telling you a lie.
Yeah, but what do you mean? Why do you think it's a lie?
No, I think it's a lie because they are being real with themselves.
Right.
I think it's a facade. They're doing it to show that that they can be God. Satan. You remember when Jesus got tempted in the desert?
Yeah.
And Satan said to Jesus, "I can give you all this power."
Mm-hmm.
Jesus already knew he had all that power.
Yeah.
Why did Satan need to say, "I can give you all this"? He already knew.
So what's your point?
My point is, we get tempted on a daily basis. Yeah.
Yeah.
That we're God.
But you already know you were God.
And that everything
if I'm using your example,
no.
Like Jesus already knew he had the power. So you already know you have the power.
Look, we were created in God's image and the divine is in us, but some people, you can't find that until you realize that God was the one that gave it to you.
Okay. So you need an awareness.
You need an awareness, yeah. You can't just reach that kind of understanding if you really go back to why this podcast exists.
Yeah.
Who are you? An atheist would sit there and go, I'm just a human being.
Well, we originate from the apes and from the Big Bang.
Well, there's
what you have research on that? That's
research.
Well, you have an argument against that?
You say that we're from apes, then you're not actually believing in. You're saying theory of evolution exists, and I have massive problem with theory of evolution.
Why?
And Charles Darwin or whatever his name was.
I went to CDU.
You know Darwin, yeah. Darwin,
yeah.
He didn't actually believe the science he preached. He didn't actually practice what he preached. Well, maybe he knew it. He never understood it. Do you know why?
Why?
He married his first cousin.
Hey, Shalugu.
Look it up. You don't believe me? He married his first cousin. Guess what happened?
Someone look it up. Is that true?
He had 7 or 8 kids or something like that.
The cameraman said it's true.
And 3 died. 3 or 4 died. And guess what? None of them ever had kids. We go evolution. Charles Darwin, obviously, there's something happened because there's no more Darwins. There was backwards evolution there.
Stop. There's no more Darwins. No, just Palmerston.
So, yeah, I don't know where science went so wrong in the time where some scientists think they're God, or some scientists think that the science is true, but it's not.
You know that's a religion as well, right? Scientology.
Yeah, science is religion. But you're talking about Scientology is, I don't know. What I'm trying to say is science, we understand what we have discovered.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we don't know the full picture.
Mm.
And we'll never know the full picture.
Yeah.
Some people say if, we are unable to see God because we can't comprehend God.
We are unable to see God because we can't comprehend God. What's your take on that?
We'll never be able to comprehend him in this human form.
What if you said the divine is in us?
Can you comprehend time, let's say a 4D space?
It's going to be tough for your brain to capture that.
Can you comprehend that if you went, say, 2 light years away and you came back, that everything on here on Earth would be older and you'd be younger than everything here on Earth because of the time.
We can talk about the theory, but I don't think anybody can actually conceptualize it.
Well, we can't physically do it.
Yeah.
But conceptually, we can conceptualize it. We can understand, do some mathematics and go, we would be this age if we came back home again.
Yeah, but you know what I mean by conceptualizing it? It's like you can't actually see the full picture in your head. So most of what I believe is being taught right now, right? We know theories, we've done the maths, scientists have told us stuff, we've discovered things. It's the truth of it. We're trying to prove that those theories are right, yeah. But we don't have 100% assurance that they are 100% what science and everything tells us it is. So I just feel like in life there's no 100% certainty.
Yeah, and we'll never know. Everyone here on planet Earth has access, but maybe it will never be able to understand it or learn it, but it has access to telepathy. To be able to read someone else's thoughts.
Have you done it before?
No, I haven't, but we have the power to. We will never be able to tap into it.
Surely somebody out there has tried it.
Okay, well, explain this one to me, right?
Yeah.
And this is how I came across it. I was in a different part of the world. Yeah. I was in Sweden and I was sleeping. And I had a dream about visiting a certain location and being and my spirit being affected, as in I was feeling fear in my dream. Yeah?
Yeah.
And when I woke up, I found out that my brother had visited that location back in Australia.
Yeah.
So this is on the other side of the world and felt the same fear.
Shalugu.
So you tell me some of us aren't entangled.
Oh, we're definitely entangled. I'm a big believer of really there's really one spirit that's in every single created being.
One spirit.
Correct. It's different. It's not different versions, but the way I like to say it is this: is if you had a mirror, right? You had a mirror right in front of you, and you were to take that mirror and smash it on the ground, and all the different pieces of that mirror will be split across the ground. That's the way, and the ground being the earth. But it's different pieces of the mirror all across it. And all the different pieces of mirror, if you were to put it together, it would form that whole mirror. And if you were to pick up that mirror while all the pieces are back together, you could really see a reflection of God through that mirror.
Interesting.
That's the way I like to conceptualize it.
How do you see God on a day-to-day basis?
I don't, because I actually grew up from a very religious background, and I went through a lot of things throughout my childhood, and when I was 18, I went through this moment where I was extremely suicidal, and I was about to take my life away, and my perception of God changed a lot, because back then my perception of God was something outside of myself that was making things happen. My perception of God now is something within me. That everything is happening from within out. It's not from without in. So I've changed the angle in the origin of God, and my perception of heaven before used to be, I need to go somewhere, and heaven used to be a physical place to go. My perception now on God, on heaven is it's within. It's dimensional. It's not something you travel to. And that has given me so much more clarity in terms of spirituality, in terms of God, because I'm realizing more and more that a lot of the teachings from biblical, because I'm huge on the Bible, teachings are actually psychological teachings. They're actually teachings about, they're stories about you. It's about stories about your conscious mind, stories about your subconscious mind, stories about the reality that is taking place in you. And when I think about life, I say, okay, my relationship with Xavier actually doesn't exist. Xavier is in my head. Really, my relationship with Story doesn't exist. Story is in my head. My relationship with the devil doesn't actually exist. It's in my head. There's no physical representation of that. It's all originating from a psychological. It's how you view the world through the lens of your eye, of the eyes of your mind. That's the game here. And I guess the Discover You podcast was based on that, right? If we are all viewing the world, and it's not just one world, it's multiple different worlds, because different people are viewing the world from their perspective. And the world doesn't look the same from everybody's eyes. And so it's multiple different worlds happening simultaneously. And that's the tricky bit. And if it's multiple different worlds happening simultaneously, your reality and my reality are completely different. And if your reality and my reality are completely different, you are a character in my head that plays a part in my story, and I'm a character in your head that plays a part in your world and your story.
Yeah.
Do you agree with any of those points? Or do you disagree?
No, I think I agree with the fact, with your interpretation of where everything resides, and it's within us.
Do you think that, so a lot of what religion is prayers to an external factor, prayer to something in the sky, and people are like, even when people are praying, they're always looking up, hoping there's something up there. And I always wonder if the earth is truly rotating, when someone's looking up, are they actually looking down?
What do you mean is if the earth is truly rotating?
So the earth is rotating, right?
Yes.
That's the concept we've come up with through science, discovered through research. If it's rotating, right, and I say I'm looking up, right, at God from the sky, are you actually looking up?
It's where you are.
Yeah, but where you are, you could be looking down.
No, you're always looking up.
Always looking up?
You're not looking down.
Like
Define up. Here's the thing, right? You're on a sphere. Everywhere where it doesn't matter where you are, yeah, you're looking away from Earth.
Yes.
In your version of up. Yep. Either way, you're looking into the abyss, the space, the heavens, you're away from Earth.
Okay, I see. I'm capitalizing that as directional, as like northeast, north, west, southeast, whatever. But you're saying that because we're in this planet, everything outside of that planet is the heavens.
Yes, everything outside of this planet, no.
Well, it's space.
Heavens,
it's not heaven.
Heavens, as what we say, as how we declared heavens to be, right? The stars, the planetary bodies, everything else, right? But heaven can be, deciphered in many different ways.
And what's your take on heaven?
I still think the stars is heaven.
I know there's maybe 3 different types of heaven.
There's heaven here on earth. There's heaven up there. Yeah. We say it's the heavens for a reason.
So when we talk from a spiritual So you're think
perceiving heaven is when your soul perceives utmost joy.
That's so interesting.
And this is this came when you die, we're told you go to, if you're good, you go to heaven. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's plenty of different perspectives here. The Catholic perspectives, you go to heaven. You know, the everyday folks' perspectives is you just exist in a different form. Some people think you're reincarnated and you come back to Earth as another human, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if we're all unique individuals,
yeah,
and we're all, let's say, waves protruding, coming out of the universe, then we experience, when we die, we let go of this physical realm, and our spirit receives utmost joy.
So heaven is a state.
Heaven is a state of, heaven is a state.
You're going to get crucified, man.
Now, here's the thing I was thinking about the other day. Wait for it. You can still get to that state. Here, let me give you an analogy.
Yeah.
Someone who, let's say a drug addict, who's going through their life and they're unhappy.
Yeah.
They're constantly in a state of unhappiness.
Yeah.
Yeah. And come to their death, they're still unhappy.
Yeah.
Their soul gets trapped in that unhappy state. They don't know this, but as soon as they die, they're locking the state of their soul because of everything that happened here on earth, which doesn't really matter. Yeah. How we perceive our, each direction and everything and our experiences here on earth shouldn't, it has direct influence on how our soul leaves our body. And that's why we say, I want to die peacefully in my sleep. Peacefully doesn't mean, you're just like this, okay? Peaceful as in you've lived a fulfilling life.
Which looks like what?
You've had a family, or you've given your life to serving, or it's just fulfilling as in you didn't rock up at your deathbed going, I have a regret. I have an empty pocket. I have an empty bucket. Something, I'm not ready. If you rock up at your deathbed and go, I'm not ready to die, then you're not at peace. But let's just say you can't re-get that I'm not ready. You can't go back. Let's just say you're on your deathbed and you go say 5 seconds left and you go, I left the oven on, or something. Okay. Something you're not ready. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you die. You can't go back and fix this thing.
So you definitely don't agree in the concept of reincarnation, of you're going to come back and until you sort out that whatever.
No, because that's entrapment. I don't think we are here.
What do you mean by entrapment? Because if you could, so I always say to people, I've had tons of chats with people that were extremely scared of death.
Don't be scared.
Why not?
Because it actually sets you free. We are scared because we think that what we have here on earth makes us happy, makes us fulfilled.
So fulfillment can't be found on earth, or it can?
It can be found, definitely. But we are scared that we will lose what we have here on earth.
Which
we are a slave, or we have chained ourselves to something here on earth that we don't want to let go. But the reality is, on the other side, it's way better.
So why come here?
Huh?
Why come here?
We're here on an information mission. It's weird, isn't it?
Information? What do you mean?
There's a lot of philosophers out. How do you say that?
Philosophers.
Yeah, there we go. Philosophers.
Yeah.
I butchered that one, didn't I?
Philosophy.
Yeah, philosophy. They say that we're here on earth to collect information.
So we're snitch.
Sent on a mission.
Are we snitch?
And we will report back to the master. And if we don't make it back, then we can't, then we're lost. God has sent us here on a mission to find him again. We sent out all the, you know how you're the tree of life?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how it's all connected.
Yep.
Even though it's branches upon branches upon branches upon branches.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all connected. Yeah. I think that exists here in some kind of state. That we're all from the same power source or from the same state of God.
Yeah.
And we've just all branched out into the universe. But the reality is we have to come back. We have to find our way back. So we're here on an information mission.
Here's a thought-provoking question. If that's the case, then no man is left behind. Then you can't actually go wrong.
No, you can go wrong.
Well, how can you go wrong
if you die in a state of not being peaceful? How are you supposed to make it back to,
That's a large population of people on Earth, man. That means if we came down, let's say we came down 7 billion, maybe 2 billion of people will actually die fulfilled. That's a lot of people that you reckon won't come back.
I don't know what you want me to say. It's just what I think is happening.
So I'm saying if that's the theory, surely there must be a reincarnation in some sense for those who didn't make it the first time.
That's not what you want me to say.
Because I'm using your early. I'm not agreeing. This is those theories what we're going through here, and I'm using your theory of before where you said, hold on. When you said that one of the things you've realized with life is that it gives you a chance to relive that same experience, and this time you get a decision whether you live the same path or you go to a different path.
In the human form.
So you reckon if you screw up here, you're done?
I believe that in order to keep my soul or my entity, because we're just flesh, right?
Yeah.
We're just flesh and bones, yeah?
Yeah.
This life form inside of me that is Xavier,
yeah.
In order to keep that life form in a state of peace and love and, unity and all the things that are nice.
Yeah.
I have to die that way.
Die the way you came.
Well, put it this way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say I'm a Mexican drug cartel, yeah? I got like a couple of, nines and a Glock, right? And I'm doing a drug deal and all of a sudden the drug deal goes wrong and I'm shooting up the rest of the drug dealers, right?
Nick.
What state am I in if I get hit?
It could be different states. Someone will say, I just made a lot of money. I died rich.
You wouldn't. You'd be like, shut. Blood pouring out. I'm like, what about my family? What about this? I'm dying. And you're not in.
Well, it depends what you value. Some people are going to be like, yeah, look, I died for a good cause. I'm a gangster. You know what I'm saying? That's a good cause for them. And it's not for me. It's maybe for them.
So you've heard of the story, your life flashes before your eyes when you die.
Correct.
Why does this happen?
Because the realization of every piece of the memory you're going to lose.
Yeah, and so what if you hit a memory where you go, crap, shouldn't have done that?
Which is everybody.
Everybody. But while we're here on Earth, we have the chance to try and fix those bridges.
So
so when we die, we go, it's so good. I gave that person a hand 10 years later. I went back and said sorry 20 years later. I helped them, 30 years later, or I made up the same day, or you go, you know what? I've mended that crack.
Yeah.
And so you hopefully you die and you go, you know what? Yeah, I think I did pretty good. Let's put it as an exam, an knowledge exam. You rock up to the exam. You hardly did any exam prep. You rock up and you do exam. When you leave that exam, yeah, is your mind not racing going, oh man, that question or this
No!
question?
Hell no!
Then what is it?
The moment I leave that exam room, I forget everything. I go straight to KFC. I'm done. Hell no. Literally, the exam is like, I just sit there, I get it done, I'm out of that exam. I get what you're saying, trying to say in terms of theory.
This is
You're reflecting. I could have answered this way. I could have answered this way. When I come out of the exam, when I was at uni, when I come out of the exam, I don't talk to anybody discussing the answer.
No, but what if in the exam you go, I don't know the answer to this?
Which is every exam. I didn't know the answer.
Okay, so how does that make you feel when you leave your exam knowing that you didn't know the answer? So 50% of the questions.
I'm pretty fine with it, actually. Because
I don't know what happens to this guy when he dies, okay? It's an anomaly. Something's, yeah.
Right. I like, even you
look, it's just a theory, okay? My theory is you have to be in the right state when you die. And to achieve that state, you have to make sure that you remain peaceful or you remain in that state. Try and remain in that state for all your life.
It's an impossible task to
Whether
achieve.
it's giving, loving, helping.
You know why it's an impossible task to achieve? Because your life can be taken at any moment.
Exactly. That's my point. Your life can be taken at any moment. So you can't be like, oh, I'll do it later in life. When I'm 60, I'll go around and help everyone. I don't need the money then. I'll just give it away. Okay? What if you don't make it to 60? You need to be living that life now.
Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed our content, please follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and TikTok. And if you really want to support us, please support us on Patreon, Subscribestar, and Crypto. I personally want to say thank you to all of you that are following us. And I want to make a promise that if you follow us, if you subscribe to our channel, that we will keep producing the best, highest form of quality content to add value to your life and help you find fulfillment in life. Thank you.